One of the best ways to actually lose weight in 2026 and beyond is to actually know what BS is out there. How do you separate the cap from the facts? Now, today we have top 3 diet myths that you probably believe in. You've probably seen these on your local feed. You're like, oh, that's true. You try it out for a bit, you just get fatter, okay? There's some things where, you're trying too hard. We're gonna get into that too. So one of the first myth is that you need to eat clean in order to lose fat. Put that one down. First myth is that you have to eat clean. No, you don't have to eat clean to lose fat. You don't have to eat clean to lose weight. Now, for some of you, you may think like, what? Of course you have to eat clean. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Click off. Listen, losing weight comes all down to a calorie deficit. You have to be in a deficit of your calories if you want to lose weight. So yes, you can eat a freaking whole pizza, still lose weight, right? You can eat pretty much anything you want. As long as it is under your calorie count, you will lose weight. Then it comes down to your macros, right? It comes down to your proteins, your fat, your carbs. The whole point with this point here is that you don't need a perfect diet. People will assume that somebody like me, you know what I'm saying? No, but somebody like who has like a really good physique or has like a better physique than the general population, they will assume, oh bro, you go to the gym 5 days a week, you eat clean 24/7, you never eat bogus, you never eat out, you're just disciplined. That stuff is good for the mind. I remember when I was, or for an event, right? If you're doing a bodybuilding competition, you're gonna have to do that. When I was training for an ultra marathon, I ate clean most of the time, right? But if you are just a person who is overweight or you just want to get a little bit leaner, sometimes you just need to make small steps, and those will create big changes within your diet. Setting a small discipline can send shockwaves to your life, right? So setting a small discipline of like, I'm going to eat 1 unhealthy snack a day. Perhaps on most days you eat 2, 3, 4 unhealthy snacks. Instead, you're just gonna eat 1. You're just gonna eat 1. That's gonna send a shockwave. That may right there be 500, 1,000 calories that you're not gonna consume. Okay, so you do not have to eat perfect. You do not have to eat clean. And there really is no such thing as a perfect diet. There really is no such thing as just eating perfectly cleanly. There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, right? That's the whole point. Plus, what I tell my clients is that, okay, what's your favorite food? Oh, I like tiramisu. Okay, first off, let's find a healthy recipe for tiramisu. Once we find a healthy recipe for tiramisu, then we're gonna be like, okay, we know the healthy recipe. We know how much calories it has in it. You can eat this once a day. They're like, what? I can eat this once a day. Yes. Why do I want my clients to still eat their favorite food? Because I'm not like slow, and I know human psychology enough to know that I'm not just gonna come here, big tough guy. Oh, you have to like, you can only eat clean. You can only clean. No, you're not gonna follow through with that. Use this for your own life, right? You're not gonna follow through with something if I say, hey man, you can't ever eat Doritos ever again in your life, right? No, if you want a little, instead of getting the huge bag, get the small bag. Instead of driving to the grocery store and getting the big bag, walk to the grocery store, walk to your local store and get the small bag. You just burnt 10 calories on the walk, and then the small bag is only like 110 calories versus you eating the big bag, which is 1,000 calories. These are like the small changes that I try to implement in my clients, but try to use them, try to adapt the same mindset, at least from the videos, and do similar things. Continuing on though, myth number 2, carbs are bad. Carbs are bad. Carbs make you fat. Carbs are just so bad. Oh, I'm watching my carbs. It's so funny. It's like, you're watching your carbs, dude. You should be watching your fat. There's literally a macro called fat. There's 3 macros: protein, carbs, fat. There's literally a macro called fat. So why are we focusing on carbs? I don't know. What I would perceive why is because carbs are kind of like Water, right? When you eat a shit ton of carbs, you will look fat for like a couple hours or something. Your face will have water in it. It's not fat, it's water, right? So, but why? Why does our body do this? Trust me, guys, once you learn the human body a little bit, and this is a bigger point, once you learn the human body a little bit, you're gonna realize that it literally is perfect. Maybe God's real. I don't know. Are we gonna go that deep right now? No, we're not. The point is that carbs have a specific action, right? There's a reason to eat carbs. The reason to eat carbs is because when you do exercise, when you do any activity that requires energy, that is what the carbs do. They break down into sugar molecules that kind of help you get a little jolt of energy. So when people talk about carbs are bad, carbs are only bad if you don't do anything, right? Carbs are only bad if that sugar breaks down, it processes, it turns into glucose, and it just sits on your body, right? That's not good. But when you are going to exercise, when you're going to work out, and a lot of people say, I feel unmotivated when I work out, I feel unmotivated when you exercise. I never really like to attribute things to feelings. I always like to think like, do you really feel unmotivated? Do you really feel that? Or did you just not carb up before you work out? Guys, carb up before you work out is mandatory, okay? It's not something that you think you can do. No, it's something that is mandatory. When you run like a marathon or something like that, or it's almost an eating fest, okay? These marathons that people are running, they're eating fest. They just eat. They're eating before the race, they're eating during the race, they're eating before they finish, they are eating throughout the entire time. That's how you run an ultra marathon, because your body is actively burning these carbohydrates and are using them as fuel for your next step, your next exertion. The point is, carbs are not bad. They are amazing. They are God-given. They are great. They are your fuel source. They are the first thing you're going to burn before you burn fat, okay? And that's the whole thing with these diets, right? That's the whole thing with ketogenic. I mean, yes, it is true that if you do not consume carbs, you will eventually burn fat, but do you really? I mean, most people don't want to go on a ketogenic diet where you just eat eggs and beef and all this. You want carbohydrates, man. And the perfect diet, the near perfect diet, is just a balanced one. Period, point blank. Anyways, it's just boring, right? Last one is 50 G's of protein. 50 grams of protein is what you should consume. Is BS. 50 grams of protein, guys, is like the minimum, okay? It's the minimum. I know that nowadays we have a lot of protein slop where they take these high processed foods and they throw some protein in them, but I'm not gonna lie, guys, in recent health trends, that's probably the least one I am concerned about, because people don't get as much protein as they should throughout the day. What we don't understand, right, is that protein is not only for the muscles, it's for hair, it's for nails, it's for every part of your body. Really, right? There could be some internal shit, some internal organs that need healing, and the only way they're gonna heal is through protein synthesis. So what they recommend for bodybuilders is 1.5 times, but you may not be a bodybuilder, right? You may just be a normal guy, normal person. So you're thinking, oh, well, what's the minimum? And then the FDA, the Food Drug Administration, says 50 grams of protein. 50 grams of protein, guys, if you are just, it's not gonna do anything. That is probably the minimum you have to take before you, I don't know, croak or something, right? You need 1.5 times your body weight. That's what you need. That's what you need every single day. You're gonna feel more energy. You're gonna feel more satiated. You're going to feel stronger. Guys, they did studies, blind studies, back to back, where they had two groups. One group worked out, but they got a very minimum amount of protein, and then another group did not work out, but they had a surplus of protein. The group that didn't work out, but they had a surplus of protein, just gained more muscle naturally right off the bat, just because they had more protein. Okay, so I always talk about get your protein in, please. Get your protein in. Everybody should be drinking protein shakes. Everybody should be eating chicken breasts like every day. eating eggs, chicken breast, beef with every single meal. Every meal should have a protein source. You shouldn't have a pure carbohydrate based meal, a meal that is purely just fat. Maybe as a snack if you want to on the side, but just having like a meal that is just carbs, even though carbs are good, but you shouldn't have just carbs. You know, throw some chicken, throw some steak. These things keep you satiated. That's the double side with protein, is that you will be fuller for longer. That's what's crazy. You're gonna be fuller for like the rest of the day. I plan my days out where I have a large amount of protein in the morning, right? And then I have like a large amount of protein maybe at night or in the middle of the day, because I know that like I'm gonna go hours working and not eating, so I'm just gonna have a large amount of protein in the morning, right? So like that's, to me personally, that's the most important macronutrient is protein. That's the one I want in the most. Then there's carbs. Man, we ain't gotta go. That's too much. That's too much sauce. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I will see you in the next one. And if you want any one-on-one help, sign up for the one-on-one mentorship in the description.